am Rico Bowlful, and this is Uncut News. Before we begin, do you have something you want to leak without revealing your identity? Send us a tip on WhatsApp. Our telephone number 659-6151. Now for tonight's news. The police force is currently searching for the man who thought it was a good idea to try to barbecue a set of police officers at the Arakara outpost in Northwest District. The incident occurred at around 2:30 this morning. According to the cops, the officers were inside, minding their own business, when someone padlocked the door to the barracks and China bombed the station. Nevertheless, they were able to free themselves and put out the flames. The front door of the building was scorched, and a partially burnt bottle was left at the front door. Fortunately, no one was injured. Yesterday, the ICJ announced that it will deliver its judgment on the Guyana-Venezuela border controversy dispute next week Friday. Venezuela chose not to send any representatives to the ICJ, claiming that the court did not have the jurisdiction to try the case. Instead, they opted to send a packet of information, including several historical claims to Esquivel. The coalition government moved to the ICJ under the advice of the United Nations Secretary General after previous attempts to resolve the issue failed. But you know what I have to say? Not a blade of grass, not one cuirass. Venezuela, haul your ass. Granger said he will not be attending the meeting of former Guyanese president set for next Tuesday. According to him, he didn't see the point. The letter he received did not properly explain the meeting's purpose, its agenda, nor the preparations needed. He also complained that it was unclear the relevance of the engagement to government policies and the outcome that would be expected from such deliberations. However, media reports indicate that Irjag wanted to generate ideas on the nation's development. Instead, Granger recommended that such a meeting be better planned out with clear objectives and outcomes. Otherwise, it's just a waste of time and money, and he recommends deferring it for another time. Now it's time to tell you about Best Buy's car of the day. Currently on sale is this 2014 Toyota Premio with steering controls, TV, navigation stereo, crystal lights, magrams, fog lamps, and much, much more. This car is almost brand new. It has less than 12,000 kilometers on it. Buy cash for $3.775 million, or pay down as low as $760,000 with $74,000 monthly, and it's yours. Call the WhatsApp telephone number 662-0844, or visit their showrooms at Lot 171 Peter Rowe Street, Queenstown, or Lot 2 Lamar Street, and tell them Noriko sent you for this sweet, sweet deal. Today, 43-year-old Diorani Sukram of Dundee Village, Myconey, was killed after the minibus she was travelling in crashed into a fence at Britannia, West Coast Babies. According to reports, as the driver was approaching a turn, he lost control of the vehicle and crashed into a fence, injuring several passengers. Sukram, who was in the front passenger seat, was pronounced dead on arrival at the Fort Wellington Hospital. And, as you can tell from the photos, she probably took the brunt of the accident. Yesterday, the European Union released $19.8 billion Guyana dollars under its budget support program. Since the program began in 2017, the EU has given so far $51.6 billion Guyana dollars. The nation is set to receive another $20 billion under the program. The EU's budget support is subject to conditions and eligibility criteria having to be met before signing a contract and maintained during its implementation before payments are made, meaning that the government can only use the money on certain predetermined projects once everything has been approved and reviewed by the European Union. One of the two suspects who are in police custody have been identified as the alleged shooter in Monday night's murder of 6-year-old Peter Gonzalez on Garnett Street, Georgetown. As Gonzalez fell to the ground, the bandit allegedly shot him twice more before stealing his motorcycle and riding off. The police subsequently arrested 3 persons, 2 from Old Boys Town and 1 from the Kitty area. However, the man from Kitty was released. An investigation is ongoing, especially as they review CCTV footage, as well as speak to eyewitnesses from the scene. Check out Cellular Plus and get 50% off this DL3 Pro with a 5.5-inch screen, 32GB storage, and a 5-megapixel camera. Take advantage of this special Christmas offer and get a 30-day Prime Bundle plan with your purchase. Get it now at Cellular Plus for just $12,000. Yesterday, 50-year-old Forrester Graveson of Lot 5 Jonestown, Mahiko, was found guilty of murdering his neighbor in 2017. According to the prosecution, on April 9, 2017, Graveson lashed 49-year-old Courtney Porter in the head multiple times with a piece of wood after accusing Porter of pulling on his wife's clothes. Porter was hospitalized for 2 weeks before succumbing to his injuries. Graveson subsequently fled the area and was captured in another policing division. After deliberating for some time, a 12-person jury in the High Court handed down a guilty verdict yesterday. He will be back in court for sentencing on January 7th, 2021. It's now time for today's Runner Report. Today, the nation recorded 28 new cases. The total number of deaths now stands at 154. There are now 6 persons in the ICU and 692 persons in home isolation. The total number of known cases in the country is now 5,839. So, please, people, wash your hands frequently. Avoid touching your nose and mouth and mask up before you leave the house. When you do leave home, try to avoid enclosed spaces and large crowds. And remember to give 6 feet of space between you and others. Now, let's take a look at news in the region and around the world. The International Monetary Fund has just approved on Wednesday US $390 million to be allocated for Barbados after its executive board had concluded the 4th review of the IMF's extended arrangement under the Extended Fund Facility for the island. The 4-year extended arrangement under the EFF was approved on October 1st, 2018, and the IMF said that, including the augmentation approved by the executive board, the extended arrangement is for an amount equivalent to US $464 million. I have absolutely no idea what that all means or what exactly it's going to, but hey, Barbados gets $500 million, so good for them. We're now in the height of robbery season. If I were you, I would consider getting security for the home of business. I personally recommend Chef Security Service. I find that they are the most professional, with well-trained armed or unarmed guards. Get some security this Christmas, people. And in international news, the FDA said it will proceed with emergency use approval of the Pfizer-BioNTech COVID vaccine. U.S. Health Secretary Alex Azar said the vaccine should be authorized within days. On Thursday, a panel of medical experts concluded the vaccine's benefits outweighed its risk. This comes at the same time that reports surfaced that 4 participants in the test group developed Bell's palsy, which is a certain paralysis of the face that is typically temporary. However, the briefing says that the frequency of Bell's palsy in the vaccine group is, quote, consistent with the expected background rate in the general population, adding there is no clear basis upon which to conclude a causal relationship at this time. Nevertheless, the FDA said it will monitor persons for the disorder as the vaccine is rolled out. So, you all let me know how that works out for you. And now for our weird news story of the day. Many of us can admit to having done some stupid things at work and then coming up with an even dumber lie to try to cover it up. Well, one man in New Jersey probably takes the cake when it comes to dumb excuses for dumb actions. A New Jersey delivery truck driver has been charged with theft and illegal dumping for an alleged scheme in which he threw packages from his own Amazon delivery van into the woods. Police said he intended to come back and retrieve them later, but this time he was caught in the act by a Logan Township police officer, and this time the 23-year-old man reportedly claimed that the box he had just flung out of his vehicle actually contained his own poop. Yes, he wasn't stealing. No, he just decided to poop in a box and throw it in the woods for some reason. Anyway, the officer told the delivery truck driver to go grab his box of poop, and of course, it was actually an Amazon.com purchase. In all, the police said the man stashed 11 packages with a total value of $289. Wow, all that theft, and it's barely even worth it. That is what you call stupid and petty. Moving on to our Uncut News Viewers Poll question of the day. Every day we pose a question about current events in Guyana, the region, the diaspora, and how you feel it relates to us. So, you give your responses in the comments, and we just might read the best ones in the following episode. Yesterday's question was, how do you feel about the GNPA's appointments? Boogie Deny said, double standard to the highest. Gambino said, the PPP always finds jobs for their cronies. The picture was painted clear when they brought back Barry. Oh, you mean old slop and strip, of course. Suresh said, just a matter of time before the PPP is back to its old ways of doing business. Media needs to question Irfan about their appointments. And Randy Jagai said, them should appoint me. What they got to lose? Take a chance, nah? Well, I'm glad to see that everyone here saw the glaring issue of having Mr. Shittenshire as a board member. I mean, you could have chosen anyone. Anyone. Even Randy. But no, they chose the man who flings his poop like a blessed monkey into... Okay, bring it together, Noriko. You have to... Let's just wrap it up. You gotta go and wrap up the people's news. So, before we get to tonight's question, brighten up the holiday season and decorate your homes with new style of vinyl, carpet, rubber tile, leatherette, glasswares, doilies, table plastic, rugs, and roll runner easy-to-clean carpets. Available in many colors, patterns, and designs to choose from. Beat the rush and enjoy the glorious days of shopping at Ravena's and Anand's. Ravena's and Anand's have unbeatable prices. For fast and comfortable shopping, visit them at Ravena's at 17A Water Street or Anand's at 108 Regent Street. Or you can even call them at telephone number 225-6595. So for tonight's question, do you think former President Granger was right to ask for the meeting to be deferred until his concerns are addressed, or is he just being too particular and too stush? Think about that question and tell us in the comments below. If your response is good enough, we just might feature it in Monday's episode. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight. Until next time, I'm Noriko Ballford saying, have a great weekend. And as always, don't drink and drive, or you'll end up on Monday's episode the hard way. Ha ha! Good night, folks. Hey, Uncut News viewers, thanks for watching. You can subscribe by clicking on this button over here, or click over there for more news. You can also drop a comment to let me know if you've made it to the end of the video. Goodbye for now.